part of the series. So today it's basically part 7 of the series. And yeah, today is the last episode in this series. And we want to finalize everything we've been doing for literally 6 episodes, or let me say 6 days. So that's the intention today. And that is what we are trying to bring to life. So currently, like we all know from what we've done so far, we've been able to create this. These have been our test sites since we started this. So we've been able to successfully create this, whereby I can use freehand to like draw stuff, and then we can also add text to it. And this is available to me. And these are annotations that we can store. We can save and export this. And just to confirm if it's successfully stored, I can go here and check it, right? Just to be sure that it works perfectly well. Now, these are things we can create, right? So currently we have an issue with what we did yesterday was we had an issue with the annotation not exporting properly. So we couldn't proceed from there. So we had to like make some changes, make some fixes, things weren't working as expected. We already had like certain stuffs not working, breaking, this and that. So we couldn't go through with all of those what we intended to do, like exporting to ImageKit directly. So that was one thing we couldn't build yesterday because we kept having issues when we were pushing to ImageKit. And even till now, if we try this, we still get this error about let me just open the extension. Let me open the extension page so you can see this. So if you go back to this, you see that there are errors, and the error just basically says image is not defined, which comes from a particular place where we are defining image in our code base. So that was understandable. We couldn't get that to work. Yes, we know. So, but it doesn't still mean that we can't successfully complete this today because, like I said, this is our work. This is our next phase, right? What we needed to do, we started the sync engine yesterday, but we need to just build the mobile app for it and sync it. The main thing is the sync engine. Once we have the sync engine, building the mobile app is quite easy. You can just one shot that, connect it, just have 2 pages literally. But the point is that we still need to integrate connections and payments and users, logins, authentications, which we have not literally done. So it took literally longer than I expected it to take, right, for like a week. So, but basically, the essence of this series is not to see if we can complete it. Unfortunately, we can't complete it today, but that doesn't mean that we've lost out on anything. We haven't lost out on anything, actually. We just learned that, yes, these things happen in programming. And all I've shown you now is just, all I've shown you now in this part of this series is that you do not expect it to go the way you plan every single time. Like this is what happens in web in startups, is what happens in any tech in any tech environment, literally. And this is normal. And the reason why this happens in any tech setting is because, or let me not even in tech setting, any workspace, because your plans might not go as you expect most times. That's why you leave room for extensions. Those things happen. So imagine how much we've spent. We tried this thing to get it right, but we had a lot of issues trying to fix and fix and fix. It happens. So this is just a lesson to everyone that is watching as well, that it might not always go the way you plan. There's no one size fits solution to all things, especially when you have like when you have a plan, not just when you just take anything that's given to you. When you have a plan for a particular thing, it takes time. Refining, making it look exactly the way you want takes time. So don't I think one of the essence of this is just to show you that even with AI, as much as I used AI to make this thing work, we spent hours on AI to make this thing work. Not because we couldn't have done a smaller version, but where's the value? Where is the connection? What makes it different? We are trying to build something that is actually marketable, right? We don't want to waste time doing that. And this is one of those things. So in this case, this is the flow, but this doesn't mean we are going to stop just like that in a few minutes. No, absolutely not. What we are going to do now is to complete what is not working. We'll take it one by one, we'll take it step by step. We'll do actual debugging, not trying to just rush it and get it to work as much as we can. So the first thing we notice here is we see that image is not defined, it's here. And that error is coming from when we want to save annotations, and it's basically coming from the way the AI is adding the images, right? That one is straightforward. It's something we can just look for image from the code. Let me show you what I mean. And then we can just fix it. Something like this thumbnail generator. image doesn't exist because this is an extension. You shouldn't be using an image like this, which I've literally said it, but the AI keep going towards the same route over and over and over. So I'm going to just tell it and say that, okay, so when let me just show you guys what that means. So when you see this error that was pointing, that was showing up here, this yellow one that says fail to save annotation. So let's look for fail to save annotation first. So you can look and see if I just pick that one. To save annotation comes from save annotation. So save annotation is where this is where the error is coming from, and that basically means it's trying to capture this. It's trying to like save the annotation here, which if you notice here is trying, this is inside a try catch. So because it's in a try catch, it will try to implement every single thing first. Then if it fails for some reason, it fails. But one way we can be sure that we know what we are doing, or let's know where it fails from, right? Let's debug now, is to add logs. So I'm going to add console.log here. I'm going to say this is in save. No, I'm going to call this, which function is this? Is an handler function. So I'll just say save annotation. Save annotation. I'll call it handler, and I'm going to just paste the stuff I want to save. So let's say I want to save, yeah, the annotation ID and the image get result. So in this case, the annotation ID is coming from here, which is the ID for when we save the annotation. So let's know if it even gets here. Does it get to this point? Does it fail? We cannot be sure. And the image get result is just our service calling the upload image. So let's look at the upload image. What happens here? So when we upload image, we are simply performing the upload. This performing upload takes in the upload option, takes in the generate auth parameters, the items, and all of those things. So let's not dwell much on this. Let's just check if our logs get here. So I'm going to duplicate this log here and also paste it before. Let's paste it at the beginning after the initialization. I'm going to like just add that and say something like this. Handler initialization, like this, right? So we know when if it gets here, then we are very correct. So the thumbnail URL, which is the generate thumbnail, is the first thing we want to do. So I feel like that is where it breaks from. I have this strong feeling it's from generating the thumbnail, which is where I was trying to explain the image from, but yeah, which is somewhere here. So it's failing because of this image here. The image doesn't exist, so we can be sure, we can verify that. Now we know we have a log here. We also have a log afterwards, but I'm going to call it from initialization to thumbnail. You are thumbnail generated. Yeah, let me just use that. Thumbnail generated and call it thumbnail URL or no thumbnail. So that means you should be seeing no thumbnail here if it doesn't go as planned. So that means it should break from here. We should get literally this. You shouldn't get this line. And that's basically what should happen. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the extension itself. That's the console for the extension, and see if we can get the logs, right? So currently I'm just going to like clear the logs, and once I do that, I'm going to refresh the page. It's going to load all of the stuffs. And okay, so we're going to still do this, clear the logs, click on this. You can see it gives us all of these logs here. We are looking out for this particular one, which is the show save annotation, right? So if I click on, let me just annotate this. Oh, I already clicked Control S. I forgot Control S saved it automatically. So being that Control S saves this automatically, then that's exactly what is going to happen. So we do not see that error message here. Okay. We need to check the actual extension pop-up. We need to inspect the pop-up. So if you check, if you see this what we have here, you see we have showing overlay editor. You see Dixie database initialized successfully. So that means the initialization for the DB was successful. We had the initialization, like I said, it's not going to get here. You really see this and then it fails. And the reason why it fails is because image is not defined. That's the same thing we keep getting. So this is expected because we are not working with normal web. We are working with the Chrome extensions that has limited APIs. So what we can't use for the web. So what I'm going to do is go to generate thumbnail, and we can't use the image. We have to use a canvas, the way we've been using that canvas since, to load and to save. So instead of me writing the entire canvas, like something like this is what we're trying to implement. It's not that hard. I wonder why this guy keeps doing this. So, but then I'm just going to say this logic fails because so I'm just going to tell it to, I'll paste this here, and I'll open it and say that this logic fails for this code because we are using, because this logic should run in, is expected to run in an extension, in a Chrome extension, just to be explicit. This is the, because of this logic, I get this error whenever the get thumbnail, generate thumbnail function is called. This is the error. So in this case, I'm pasting the error that I've gotten, that I got. I'm going to paste it so it has enough context on what I'm trying to talk about. So that way, I'm telling it that okay, this is the error. So this is just me asking it, not telling it to write my code. And you guys may have observed that I don't really use agents as much since I started this. I feel like using agents is just a way of like saying, okay, let's do this. But I've used agent like I don't use it to just take over the code. We tell it do this, it does it. We have a plan. We can go through all the plans, and that's basically a better way to do it. So in case I decide to discard the entire project and the entire code, these plans are still useful for probably more powerful LLMs, right? That's the idea. So always imbibe that also to the way you work and do stuff. This is a new time, it's a new age. We don't do it the same way we've done it before. Things are always different these days. So this is just a lesson as well. I think it's just a lesson that we've learned, both myself and you guys that is watching now, that this is something that we always occur. You don't have it always go as planned in terms of like projects and stuff. I could have done this overnight, or definitely could have done it since yesterday, get everything to work, come here and tell you that oh, everything is fine. But I wanted you guys to understand that even with the way we stopped yesterday, I didn't fix it, right? But I've done all of this. But these are the things you see, not the way we talk about this code online is not actually the way it is. We actually do a lot of behind the scenes to make it work most times. If you work in an actual environment where you build real products, you know these things happen. The delays occur, the demo day becomes chaotic, nothing works. It's like a normal thing. And the reason why I say it's normal thing is not because it's normal or it's due to laziness of the people working. Nah, definitely not. It's just because there are things you do not catch at that point until it's expected for you to follow the protocol. You know you cut corners as developers until you want to demo it to someone that you want to show all the product from start to finish. Then realize that by the time you all bring your code together, something is missing. That's exactly how it happens. So that's another thing to understand from here. So in this case, he says he wants to switch to code because he need to fix the thumbnail. My question is, how do you intend to do that? I need to understand how you want to. You should probably use Canvas. If you don't suggest Canvas, it's not going to work because we are using an extension. So this is just interaction. Like I said, now these are ways you can also learn. You can see me prompting this severally, even though I know what I want you to do, right? And the reason I'm doing this, like I said, if I was the one writing this, it probably take me less than a week, like completely from scratch. We've done majority of the work. We've done 70% of what we want to do. Right. Yesterday I could have provisioned my sync engine. Today I will have wired the entire engine, written the mobile app, probably 3 hours max, with the styling and everything, build it, see if it works, test it on my mobile phone. If it works fine, we just go to Click and integrate authentication straight away. Click one button, link both the extension and the mobile app with one particular API with the same code base, and we are done. That's easy. We could have done that in the space of, I don't know, probably 8 hours for everything. So that's how fast we can get these things done most times. But like I said, we are not just, I'm just not just here to show you, oh, I can build this in 2 days and then no finish it. And I'm trying to actually show you you can start from start to finish with the orders, the challenges, and everything you might face. So yeah, enough of these ramblings and me talking. Let's just try to get this done now with the little time we have before we wrap up this final series. So I'm going to leave this code available. It's going to be on the it's going to be in the Copylab GitHub repository. So I have an organization called Copylabs. It's basically an organization where the idea of the lab is you want to innovate, right? But most times you don't have new ideas. The point is, why don't you build the old idea to get the experience? I've built a lot of things recently that I didn't know how to build a few months ago, 1 year ago. And lately I've built like 4 different types of them. I don't know how to write extensions before. I never had anything to do with that. You won't need that in your workplace. I don't think there's anyone that tell you, oh, I work, I build the extension in my workplace. It doesn't happen. But these are things you build. You see people online building it. How did they learn that? That is a skill they picked up and learned somewhere. So these are things you just pick up because you feel like it's necessary. So recently I've built a lot of things. I saw. Let me show you guys an example. So I don't know if you are conversant with post.org. Let me close this. Let me show you guys this. But let me show you if you are conversant with posthog.com, right? So this is how the website looks like. It looks like an actual operating system window, like it's fully fledged, everything working. Like you can see the window, the menu, and everything. You can see the window bar draggable and all, and it has even has snapping. Do you understand all of those things? And then you can see this. It's not perfect, right? If you see any flashy like this, you'll be like, oh, wow, this is cool. You can see looking at the cursor, you see the blinking. That's already an inconsistency because something keeps misbehaving at that point. Now I can assure you that this is a problem and they don't even know how to fix it immediately now. I'm not saying that is like bad stuff to the because I'm trying to click this and it's not working. Now this is an example and you see how it's already making my browser lag and probably the tab is especially it's just off. It's not working. So that's a problem. So what did I do to copy this particular website? Um okay, so everything is hanging, anything. So I can't do anything right now. Literally froze my browser. I think it's back. Yeah. So you can see it took a while. You can see. So and basically this is no one person working on this. But then I wanted to try something like this and I said, okay, I don't want it to look like this. The old window experience where you just have this that looks like the Windows OS experience. I wanted something that looks like Mac experience that has menu bar, something like this that works with the window, right? If you are familiar with how Mac works, if you go to this is the browser, right? You can see arc file, this, all this menu work for this application that is open. If I go to my web storm, you can see it changes. Now I have Git. I don't have Git in this one. So it simply means the menu works with respect to the window. So what did I do to build something like this? I built this. Um, built this, which is like a version of that system, but that works like for Mac OS. So this one mirrors Mac OS natively, right? It's not for a company, it's for me personally. So I just built it for my portfolio that displays things that have windows, configurable windows like this calculator that you can also drag like they can, but it doesn't flicker as much as you saw there. It's more responsive. Now, I'm not saying this is better than what they built. That one is a lot of code base, yes. What I'm trying to say is that if you do not try to do these things most times, you will never know how to do it. So now back to the issue, the whole Copy Labs thing. So Copy Labs I'll share the repo with you guys. It's my GitHub repo lab that I created, whereby I rebuild stuff and everybody to have it's open source. So if you want to contribute to it, it's available. Whereby you copy existing information, existing applications, existing frameworks, existing libraries, just something that exists that you don't know how to do and you're interested in learning it. You can start it up there. People that are interested can contribute, pick it up and say, oh, I also want to learn this. Then you work together. Who knows? You might meet your next founder there. You might meet your next co-founder there. That is a possibility. And so far, so good. I've been the one working on it, even though it is literally open source. I know. But so far, I've built 4 different products for that particular site. Now you can see it changing the background itself because that's where I configure it. I simply said change your background based on the particular API that I sent. And you can see this, you can see it doesn't obstruct the view. It's literally as much as what my macOS can do. It's not completely. What I wanted to show you guys is like the menu, for instance. If I click on the menu now, the calculator again, you can see the manager for here to know how many menu I have open, the details of the menu, this and that, and all of those things. And if just to show you how it works, this is the calculator and the memory. This menu you have here is different from the menu you have for this text editor I built. This text editor is just a minimal version of an actual text editor that you have in like Windows, Notepad, and stuff, or macOS Notes, right? It's basically simple. You can see the menus are different. Now this works for it. It also works to restore it. You can drag it, you can close, you can minimize. If you minimize it in the dock. Now, this is something I built to make it work like that, right? Now that is it. So what Copy Labs is basically just you learning how to do those things that you see, and you're like, oh, I wish I can do this thing. You can start it there. You can create a repo. I'm always there to see things. I'm always building. So if you're interested in doing that, so you can always like drag stuff there. And probably I'll be chance to work on it with you. And if I'm interested in that particular thing, and if I'm not, I'm sure that people will be interested. But if I see that you're the one working on it, I'm definitely going to also jump on it because I'm interested in learning a lot of things. So this is what I'm trying to show. So that is what CopyLab is. You can see how fluid it is. It's extremely fast. Like it doesn't hang, super fast. Everything is fast, well optimized, and run. And the time to paint is extremely small. Like I've seen all of these things, and I'm impressed with what this is because it might look small and this, but it's not an easy feat to do, especially when it needs to drag. You need to have your icons working perfectly. You need to have a more detailed notepad with like Notion kind of integrations, like checks for modifications, checks for this one, like this also different menu for all of them, right? In this case, if I do this and I select all of this, if I double click this, it automatically expands it like what macOS does. In this case, if I go here and I select all of this and I format it to uppercase, it affects it. Now the menu for this is different from the menu for this, different from the menu for this. So it's more like you have an OS within your browser that works. This is just one of those things I built. So in Copy Labs is just that's what we do in Copy Labs. That's what it's currently just me, and this is what I do at Copy Labs, and it's quite interesting to see. You can embed different web pages. This is also is something I built recently for detecting AI images. You just want to keep yourself safe. You don't want someone like deep faking you. You can actually use this tool to detect if it's fake or not, and it works. I can at least not 100%, but it works most of the time, and you can get like confidence levels of, oh, I'm this confidence that it works. I'll probably test it for you now. Let me see if I can get an image that I can use to test it. So let me pick one of the image I used for my last YouTube series. You can see everything that works here now is working. This is a different application, so it's more like I created a browser within within this app. Let me not call it an operating system that works and is working separately as a component within it, or as a separate entity using its own process. Doesn't even slow the site still. No matter what you do, it still works as efficiently as possible because everything is working in your browser. Your browser is more optimized for stuff like this. And when you click, you bring it to the top. Window management is solid. These are things that I have built. This is the dock. It works perfectly well. You can minimize all of this to the dock if I want to. You can see the dock increasing. Calculator, note editor, calculator is going back. It restores the position. It does all of those things. Now, if you look at the one from Postdoc I showed you, it does something similar. It's more complex here in terms of the full-fledged. It's for an actual company. What I built here can be extended to any kind of implementation. It just depends. Now, the reason why this is taking time is because the server has been down for a while. I think it's just code starting it, which is understandable. And then you have other things like my portfolio that is embedded. In this case, this is my portfolio embedded. Also linking to a different my actual portfolio website, which is also different. And then you have other things like this is also an embedded page, the official Next.js page that you see when you create a new application. And you can see all the apps are being managed. I can minimize this. I can minimize this while it is loading. And I click on this and I minimize this as well. I still have this. If I click on save, it removes the modified. I can minimize this. I can minimize the calculator. The calculator also works. If you do like 9 times, let's try removing something from it. 9 times 4 gives you 36. And I can save this to memory by storing this to memory. You can see M36 here. I can clear this. I can clear this. It's gone. And if I decide to say, okay, maybe 100 times 2, 100 times 2 equal to 200, I can go here, clear the result, or copy the result from here, and it works. So everything has their own menu, state management, and all, and it works. And it's quite simple to implement. It's not simple until I finished it. So it's simple. This is one of the things I built. The other one I built is this image detector I showed you. The other one I built is a wallet that you guys are familiar with. Or if you've not been following the series, I built this wallet also called Wallet Pro. It's an actual Web3 wallet that you can use for testing. So you can't lose your funds using this. And after building this, I built a mobile version for this that works just for mainnet. So that protects your actual funds. This one is for testing. So you know how to segregate your funds. You don't use one for the other that should not be working. And the one for the mobile version, you literally does not require a seed phrase or a private key. You sign in with your email. So no matter what, you can port to any device. Literally like 5 different applications I've built over time. And now I know Mac is like another one I'm just adding to it. So what I'm trying to say here is that this, if you want to, I'm going to drop this. Yes, you can try out these things as well. This is how you learn. Basically, we're just trying to explain here. So Copy Labs is that lab where I do all of those things. I build stuff that exists already, like what I've shown you guys, different things that exist. A Web3 wallet like MetaMask. I didn't like MetaMask on mobile. I decided to be my own. I didn't like it on the web or in any desktop. It's too complex to use. I decided to be my own. Anything I see that fine, I can copy and replicate and make it better. I build it. Right. So that's what Copy Lab is about. And that is why I'm building this annual mark. In case you are wondering, why am I doing this and taking all of this time? Why don't I just do it normally? We are trying to build something that is usable and that can compete with existing tools out there. That is how companies are formed. That is how products are built. Right. So I hope you've learned something from this. I know it's just based on ramblings and like deviating up and down, but these are things that actually work. So I'll share a link to Copy Labs also in all the descriptions for the series. You can check it out. You can add stuff to it. There are a lot of things I've not even get started building. They are there. You can also work on it if you wish. So yeah, that's that. So let's see most of what this has done. It's just reading. It has edited some files. What did you edit for crying out loud? Don't tell me that is it. So it edited this by adding line 22, check if DOM is available. If it's not, return the data URL. If it is, do this and return the promise and create an image source with the data URL and build. That is exactly not what I want. Nah, I don't think that's the solution. I can always go back and change that. So I'm just going to freehand on it and write no like this, and then I save it. So if I save this, going to the extension, expecting the pop-up, let's see if it works. So it says number one, window is not defined. Now we can see the data. Okay, so the thumbnail was generated now, so that means it works because it noticed it's not for. So it's making use of this data URL, which is fine. Let's assume it's fine. So the next thing it does is image kit upload attempt one failed. Window is not defined. Same thing. It's still using the window stuff. So we are going to look for image kit upload attempt. If we get that to work. So image kit upload. So I'm going to remove all of this attempt. So you can see the attempt here, right? It's in the image kit service. So what happens and why is it failing? The attempt is in a try. So let's look at the perform upload. What happens? It's complaining of window. That means window does not exist. So let's look at the generate all parameters. It creates just a basic token and the expiration date and the signature. And this is just basic stuff, right? So for the crypto signature, you're just using window. So which means window does not exist. We can't use window. So we can just use the um, normal crypto API that exists for us in the browser, but which we want to use also because we're using a web extension. So crypto random string, I don't think this is going to work for our use case. Does it have to sort to? I'm not sure, but let's see if this works. I don't think that's going to work. I've not tried that. All right, so that is it. Let's test this again. I'm going to try this. So now we see that whenever we write all of those things, it just fails. Let's use the ellipsis, right? And draw stuff so we can actually see from far. I have a good feeling about this. It might work, but then the generation or the upload might fail still, which cannot the structure property of undefined, length of undefined, blah blah blah. Which this is a problem. So we can't use this crypto here. We can only use I think we can use crypto like this. Crypto dot. So I think this needs parameter. This needs to be initialized. I think it's a class. I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Then the sort will work or generate random. So in this case, you use the crypto for what? Import key. Okay, import key still works. All right. Do I need all of this? Why do I need this signature? Okay, so you know what? Probably going to strip a lot of things. I don't need most of this data. And this is one of the reasons why we take a lot of time and digress a bit and got carried away. Yeah, failed to get document metric list page. That's why. So I think now it's done. Loading the page. I should get this. Let me ellipse it again. Very big one this time around. Yeah, so I save this. Let's check our pop-up to be sure it works or it doesn't work. So we still get the same thing. It's a digital constructor, definitely. I agree with that. So if I check the annotations, do I have anything different from the annotations? Yeah, so actually saving them, the one I saved just now is 438. That means it's saving it, as you can see, but it's not uploading it to, like, yeah, it's not uploading to ImageKit, but it works. It's actually saving it, but not uploading it. So we need to ensure that it's able to upload it as well. So which is what we are trying to build. So the whole thing this is trying to implement for me is just plain wrong because we can't use crypto like this. We can't use node of crypto like this. So I'm just going to tell you that, okay, so this there is another error. Points to note is that this is a Chrome extension and not a web app. Therefore, some use of some APIs like window dot fails when called. For instance, get signature. Let me just use this. Get signature generates signature function fails when the when it is called. How do we resolve this error? So basically asking it to resolve all of these errors. So that's what it's going to do. So in this case, it's saying, okay, how do we resolve this? It's going to check and just give us suggestions. At this point, I'm asking it, I'm not telling it to write the code. So it's just going to suggest for me. Basically, I have some issues with the way this works. I'm trying to understand even why we need to generate signature function. Because fine, I understand we are trying to generate odd parameters, but why are we using odd parameters? Like literally why? Why is it needed for performing upload? Okay, so upload option takes token. Oh yeah, that's because yeah, it requires token. ImageKit requires token when you upload. It requires most of these things, and I think token is required. Yeah, so file name and token is a required field. Description is not even required, but expiry date also is required. So that's why we needed that. I understand now. Explain to me. Don't fix it. So in this case, that's why. So it actually did the right thing. It was smart enough to know that we needed that, which is cool. Might have not had to create something similar to. So the way I used it in the extension I showed you guys now, this extension I built, the way I used that kind of thing there, I mean crypto, it's we didn't use the main crypto library. Let me search for it just to be sure. I think I installed the crypto. Let me be sure. I'm not entirely sure now. So yeah, that's it. So let me go to the package first and check the packages in if we need to install the crypto library. Okay, this is it. So do I have crypto library installed here? Uh, okay, I don't. I only have the BIP32 BIP which was used for some crypto stuff, but yeah, this is crypto. Let me do a global find. Crypto was it used for anything? Oh yeah, we use crypto to get random value in services, but did we import it anywhere? Nope. It was used normally just like so it worked. Generating random value worked for salt. Okay, this was this for the salt. This was this for random values too, which is like getting the salt at the end of the day. We use the salt to the import key too for material. So how come it works here and then it doesn't work there? Oh, this is strange. If I can use it here, then why don't I have the access to? Because I know I'm not using it anywhere here. This is for a different project. All the crypto you see there is for different projects. Let me search. I don't have crypto here. So that means it's supposed to work for the thumbnail generator, not the generate all parameters should work, which is where we generate our signature. You should probably take this and it should not cry. I wonder why it is crying here. Probably because yeah, this is used. Oh, that's why. I was just wondering why. Okay, so what we do is we leave this. So I'm going to say this. Okay, that's just it. So I'm going to change this from crypto here like this. I think I just assumed crypto was a global library at that time. It was giving the error, so I felt it was wrong. So in this case, we can use it this way without changing anything. So we don't need to cancel anything. So I knew I used it in the extension, this extension here. Another thing about this extension is this web wallet is that it sponsors gas for you for most public blockchains. Like for all these blockchains you see here are testnet blockchains, you can literally add higher number of blockchains. Like it feels like I'm trying to sell this to you guys, but it's free, so there's no selling anything actually. But this is just for all only testnet. The reason I said it's just for testnet is because while you are browsing, the Web3 space is dangerous now. It's not advisable for you to connect your site even to the most appealing site because now it's easy for AI to generate beautiful sites for you. So in this case, this is your best shot. In this wallet, we literally cannot get hacked because it's just testnet. So anything anybody steals from this wallet, now you know you've been hacked, right? Your main wallet exists in another place entirely, and I recommend that you use a wallet on your mobile device for your main wallet. Don't store it on your extension. It's a dangerous thing to do. That's exactly why I built this. I have friends that have lost their savings for this for 3 years. It's annoying. So build this so that this only accessible for testnet. If you want to do like connections to see if a site is worth it or not, you can use this to test it first before you connect your actual wallet to it. Corner wallet, but a full-fledged wallet that helps, right? So feel free to check it out. The name is Wallet Pro. So what I was trying to explain, let's try this. And if I go, okay, so everything is fine. Let's use a rectangle now. Use the yellow color, copy all of this, save and export. Should we have errors? We should. Yeah. So one of the errors we have here is XML HTTP is not defined. In perform upload, you can see where the error is coming from. So that means we successfully passed that stage, and that is good news. So it means we don't have that issue anymore. The signature has been generated successfully, and you can see what this is trying to do here. It's trying to use this. It's probably the same thing we just did. It's just trying to yeah, implement it as do a check first. I sure it works in both window and stuff. But we don't need all of those things. Like literally not. It's still the same thing before we've done. And yeah, let's go to the next thing, which is when you generate your auth parameters, the upload. Let's look for it again. The perform upload. That's ImageKit service 98. Let's look for 98. Perform upload. Yeah, this function. This is perform upload. So that means it fails at this point. Upload here. So we assume it fails at upload. No, this is not my file. So that means upload is coming from ImageKit. Upload a file to ImageKit with giving upload options. This uses V1. Oh, so this is definitely not my issue. Oh no, how do we resolve this? So let's check what upload is first of all. So upload is basically takes an upload option which we are passing to it already. It returns a upload promise, a response, which is a promise, resolving to the uploaded response. So how this works, okay, you know what? There's always a way to fix stuff like this. We'll debug it. It's not that bad. So we understand that this fails somewhere here. We can prove that by pasting the console.log that we had from a thumbnail generator, for instance. Okay, so see the thumbnail, save annotation here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to change it from save annotation to the perform upload handler. So this should tell me if that is where it fails. So in this case, it's going to be a response. Here, I'm going to duplicate this and create one before it and say before response. So that should tell me if it's the same one or or it's something entirely different. But the reason why I believe this does not work, and that's where it's coming from, is because this is an XMHTTP error. It says, where's the error again? Oh, can't find it. Come on. Where did you go to? Where did you go to? Where are you eating? Oh, okay. Let me take it again. I'm not sure it's here. It's in the extension logs. We want to inspect the pop-up and then we see. So it's gone because the page was reloaded. So let's try it again. Let's just attempt it again. So using the same rectangle stuff, just do this. Don't forget all of these are still saving locally, right? But the sync will not work. And the sync is what we are trying to resolve now. So you're going to the pop-up again, you see some of the errors. It says XML HTTP is not defined, which happens in perform upload. Let's see if it gets there. So it gets to the before response, like you said, but it never got to the response. So that means it fails at the response, right? So that is correct. We are still correct. It says upload failed, XML is not defined. So that means we can't use the XML also in our file. So that means we should only be able to use all the ImageKit functions inside of our message script where we can actually call files. The reason why I say that is because if you look at this, how do we execute code here? Now, one of the ways we can execute code here, using that, looking at the code base, is we have this something called the sandbox pages, right? That we can use to like execute things like window, as you can see here, and it will work perfectly well. So we can use this to execute scripts. We can also use it to execute other kind of scripts in this case, but let's just look for something else. So we could have done all of this inside the. We can't use the contents. I don't think that works for us. All right. So this is what I'm going to look at. ImageKit is used where. Let's go check this out. So ImageKit here is used. This class is used in ImageKit service is used in upload image in the save annotation functionality. So upload image comes here. Then this performs the upload. Then the upload here is handled by the upload from here. So save annotation is coming from where, and it's being used in the background message. So that's actually perfect. That should work. Except that I'm getting it from the ImageKit service, which I'm confused to. Why are you giving me the XMHTTP errors actually? I don't need to open this. I want to inspect. Hopefully I can still see. Yeah, it's still there. So you see reference error. XMHTTP request is not defined at upload image at handlers from save annotation to upload image to perform upload 99, which of course is the same place we talked about. So it says XMHTTP request is not defined. So I'm saying this is not using fetch. That's absurd. It is not using fetch. Using XMHTTP, really? So it gets saved, right? You can see it gets saved here, but it fails the upload handler. So it tries the first upload, it tries it again, tries it 3 times before failing. So it said failed after multiple attempts, then it failed. Now here it says XMHTTP is not defined. As in line 99, which is 99, but this is where the problem is coming from. So an upload doesn't seem to like take anything. This is node modules. Okay. These are another thing you should not be scared of. Never be afraid of checking your node modules. Of course, it can be so intimidating, but it's still the same thing. It shouldn't scare you. It's your code. You have to own it. You have to not be scared of it. I know, but I know what that means. I've had experiences, but then, like I said, you shouldn't be actually. So let's look at this again. We have the upload here, and then we have the upload options. We have the generate auth, the auth params, which is all of this. And the next thing is we have this upload. Okay, what did I come back here? So we have the upload which is failing currently, which is complaining of the XMHTTP request, which is a problem. So it simply means we use, let's check the image kit documentation itself. So from the image kit documentation, we have all of this. It says uploading files. The upload file enables you to upload files using the V1 API. Oh, we should be using the V2. Is there a V2? I'm sure there's a V2. Right? If this is failing because I'm using the V1, I'm going to be so angry with myself right now. Okay, let's see. Just be V1. Just be V1. Please don't be V2. Oh yes, I knew there was a V2. I knew there was a V2. I'm using V1. Oh no. Okay, we can do this in another way. We can literally, instead of using that XDK, we can use the API and we use the V2. But two things, we need so uses API keys to authenticate requests. All right, so that was using the that was just terrible. That was using the V1. V1 is not going to work. Oh no. This and that block we just faced now, right? You guys can see. So we'll be using this, not knowing it was for V1. I usually thought they ported to V2, but based on the stuff here, he said allow you using V1 API. So I think most of these are not even needed for V2. I don't even know if this is the maintained, the V1. Oh no, this was not expected. I never expected this. I didn't want this to happen. Okay, I think I might just switch my use case. Try to use the V2 since we can literally do something like that. It's just difference between V1 and V2. How does it work? I need my API key. Yes, I need to pass that here. Can also omit the token for now. I don't think, like I said, token is not really needed in V2. So he said brings enhanced security by verifying the entire payload using GWT. The API is in beta. I've used it before though, so why? Oh no. Okay, so this is a problem. Why don't I just stick to using Convex File Manager? I've not even tried that. That might just work for me. That way, all the images are in the same place. But that's not sustainable because you don't store media directly like that. It breaks quickly. Storing media is a pain. It's a challenge, really, really big challenge. But we need that for our sync engine to work perfectly. If we don't have that, the sync engine fails, automatically fails. But let's look at the upload again. It says uses P1 API, accept an options object, returns the promise that results with an upload response. The SKJSON stringifies the
It's 17
parameters
hours.
before sending them. Thank you. Yeah, that's like it's just for keeping track of time. The program that runs on my laptop. So yeah. Sorry about the interruption with the voice. So yeah. What's the next thing here? The overlay, video overlay uploading files, the name, public key. Whew. All right. So from the service itself, it needs to call this, but you can't use the HTTP XMHTTP request from here. All right, let me just pass in that first. See if there's anything this guy can do. I can't think of anything right now that may fail. All right, let's see. This is one of them. Let's just pick one. Okay, so we have this. So we're just going to paste this and say, okay, we get this error from here. What do you suggest? Any suggestion, any recommendation? Um, okay, so I asked it a prompt, a question that when my extension calls the function, yeah, the error comes up, even though I don't see it directly. I want to just think through it and see if you can figure me a question. All right, let's wait for a bit to see if it's going to give anything. If it doesn't, then we know it's probably not going to work. Start thinking of alternatives. But one thing I want us to complete today, like I said, today is the finale. Right? I always like doing stuff before the final day. The final day should just be for chills because if you try rushing anything, it breaks. I've seen enough demo to know that that is like a default. They're just the human psychology is to break things on the last day normally. I don't like breaking things until it gets to the last day. A day before the last day, everything should be ready. The last day, we don't touch code. That I lead my team whenever we work, we don't touch code on the last day. And that's the philosophy I stand by everywhere, every day, every time. The day before, everything must be ready. The last day, we don't touch, we just test. Even if it fails, we leave it. We demo it that way, we know what fails, we know how to go around it, then we resolve it after the demo. That is the only way you work successfully in case in situations like this. So this is a significant play of such also. The last days, same thing. The last time I was reading the wallet for mobile too, when I did go to the last day, we encountered such issues, especially on the history part. It was miserable, and then we couldn't even send the transaction. So annoying then too. So it's just something that happens though. Look at it as one of those things that happen. Especially when you want to perform a demo. Doesn't matter when. Yeah. The app that might be working on production will go to get to demo and fail for some crazy reasons. That's why you see most of these big companies, the big tech companies also have demos and it fails. You can't explain it. Not because you've not done all your checks, not because you are not confident, but you just get there and it fails. Like literally fails. So yeah, so no matter what, whether you are big, you are a very high known company like Microsoft, Google, Tesla, that happens to everybody. Everybody have had their share of it. It doesn't matter whether you're a big company or a small one. So it happens. If I faced it, they faced it, then you should know it's normal. So Kilo wants to switch to this. It says replace this with the direct fetch API recommended. Use fetch API directly, which works in service workers. Okay, that's basically the best way to do it. So I'm just going to say, can you completely replace image kit SDK use with direct fetch API, ensuring that all current implementation, all current implemented features still works when you're done. Yeah, when you're done with yeah, when you're done with the changes. So I just want to be extra sure and double sure. You should tell me the file is going to change, how it's going to do it before I agree to it. So I know we spent an hour, but then it's part of it. That's the essence. How will you go about this? Which files will be affected? Yeah, I already have questions for you. Answer my questions first. So how will you go about it? Which files will be affected? Let me know. So I know what files I'm going to be bearing the brunt of if it fails. If it's something that I cannot bear it, you don't work on it. Okay, so let's see the next thing it says. I'll replace the image kit SDK with the direct fetch in only one file, which is okay. That's perfect. Smart enough. Remove this direct dependency. Remove your perform upload method with fetch. Okay, replace this with fetch API. Maintain existing interface and functionalities. Retry handling authentication. That works. So you need to test after it is done. Test it. Ensure all the features work and that the logic remains the same. So it wants to switch to code because the fetch API based to implement this. All right, no, let's just allow you to do it. Let's see what we get. But so far, so good. We know that we already have all of this. So one last thing I want to try to do is this. While we are working on this, how do you think extension, their mobile app look like, right? So given that, let's say we build the app now, and we already have a pattern for it. We know we want it to look similar to what we have in the Anomac. Okay, yeah. So one more thing, you guys notice that with in the entire thing I have opened on this browser, I have like how many windows open? 6 total windows, different windows open. My browser has not felt anything. It doesn't really affect every other thing. It's like you have an operating system within your browser and works for you. Think of it that way. That literally does every single thing that you want for you, and it just works. Why does this feel it should be working? Is my server down? Is my subscription over? I need to go and check it because I hosted this actually. So if the server is down, that means if it's not working, that means it's the host. The hosted the deployment fails. I think I would need to change it from where it is currently. It makes it even very slow and it doesn't work for my use case. So I have to change where it's deployed currently. So I'm definitely going to do that. I'll change where it's deployed currently. Take it to any place entirely. All right, but this is something that works. That's just it. Just deviated. So this is like I said, how will the mobile app look like, right? While this is making the changes to the extension using the form data and stuff, which I don't think should work in this use case, but let's see. All right, so now that we know this, our mobile app will look something like this. Let's go to Plasmo here, get how the extension will look like. So if I go to my extension annotations, I should see what happened. Why does it fail? Okay. To import this. Okay, so all the errors are gone. So what it did basically is to use the form data instead and do this. Hopefully it works. Let's try it out. But before then, I need to see my annotations first. So these are the annotations we have. So we want the app to look something like this too. The app will just appear in grid form, either one of them or two side by side. That's something we can create very fast, and I can show you guys. But still, I want us to finish with this. Let's finish with the what they call it now, this to do, and check it again. So let's try uploading. We know we have 7 already currently. So this for a small page. So I'm going to close this since that is not the pattern I'm using. Okay, so I'm going to go to messaging contains a lot. No small page here. Okay, this contains. Let's go to the pages. I think that pages contains two, but that's fine. I want to. So I'll click on that page of the entire page, asking to annotate it. I'm going to scroll down to where the image is, and I'm going to like draw something on the image and write a text saying it doesn't work. It doesn't load images. Kindly fix. Right, that's done. So I save this. Let's check if it works for us. Oh, wow, it worked. We don't have any errors. Yeah, it worked. Let's see if the image kit result works. So the image kit result is file name is empty, the file ID is defined, the image here, the thumbnail. Now let's check if it's correct. Let's check the URL. Oh, this is cool. So if it works, successfully fixed it. That means we have a shot at completing our sync engine. Oh no, what did I paste here? Let's see, not found. Yeah. All right, that makes sense. One more thing to do. Let's go to ImageKit, right, and see if there's anything on our dashboard. What does that mean? It simply means there should be something on my dashboard. Let's go to the dashboard. Media library. There should be 3 files. If there are no 3 files, oh yeah, you can see the folder. So you created the folder successfully, and that was created. Is there any file inside? Yes, but the file is broken. So that means the file doesn't work. You can see it here in B. Everything was uploaded 712. That's 1712, which is just some seconds ago. So that means, but the image is wrong. So that's what we need to fix. So now with that, syncing with ImageKit works partially, not completely. And the file name also, when we perform the upload, we pass a file name, which is also coming from upload image, which is file.name, which might not contain a file.name because you're not creating a file blob, and all of those things, which is how do you create all of those things? It doesn't even align. Okay, so let's say this is the file name, right? The annotation dash dash dot png, which is fine. Um, okay, so that means this is successful, but I think I understand where the error is coming from. Remember when we lost the URL the other time, the data URL? There is no conversion, none whatsoever. So what we can do to check is if you go back to this place, I'll close this. Go back to the extension and click on the inspect pop-up. You should still see all of this. So before fetch, the annotation saved with this successfully with this ID, but this is the thumbnail generated for us. So I'm going to go to search for thumbnail generated. And if you have thumbnail generated, there's a spark of hope right now. So if you can complete this in the next 30 minutes, you can 30 minutes build our mobile app sample that you guys can see. Just to spin up something that can work in a few minutes. But I don't think that's feasible, but then it's a possibility. All right, so we have this, it's generated. So let's go to generate thumbnail. Generate thumbnail takes in the data URL, which is being passed as data URL here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check which is this. So it's a base 64 value. So it's taking the base 64 value as what was passed and returning that directly to us. It's not creating it as an image in this case, which we cannot use. So I'm going to ask it to do something else. It works. Nice work. Good question though. The generate thumbnail is supposed to generate a thumbnail given a data URL. How can we generate an image from the okay, I don't think this is a problem though, but I also feel there's a problem. So the size is 1.06. The custom metadata doesn't have any one. We can create custom metadata for our images, so we know it's coming from Anom marker directly. Yeah. So you might have come across those things that you see that, oh, we created something on Photoshop or from Apple. Those are custom metadata. They just paste it there so that they can know that, oh, whenever maybe you deploy it to like Instagram, they know it was from Apple. When you make a post to Twitter, they say send from Apple, send from iPhone, blah, blah, blah. That's how it works. It's just because there's a custom metadata that those sites check for when they upload your image, and if they see there, they mark it, they create a tag for you and say, oh, created from iPhone, something like that. So that's what custom metadata is. You can also create our own and say, oh, created from this. So that way, whoever is looking at it knows that this is not the real image that has been tampered with. We can have that as a security feature. It's not bad, right? It actually works that way. So let's look at the not the sync. Let's look at the perform upload. Now the perform upload here takes the file, in this case the blob. And when we saw the last upload that was done, going back to the extension, if I inspect it, you can see the result gave something of this nature. It gave us the image kit result. The file ID was there. The file type is image. The file size is defined. The URL, well, didn't give us anything, and neither did the thumbnail. So what caused that if everything worked except for that? So let's say the file itself, was it a valid file? We need to be sure. So how do we do that? We can console.log that. Yeah. So it has given me something like this. I can say this is file and perform this. So auth params, I don't need the auth params. Auth params is fine. If not, it won't have uploaded. We need the file. So if I check the file this way, I know this is going to refresh automatically. Okay, I'm going to go back to, I'll just upload another one, go back to the tabs page, validate this, refresh this page, click on this floating button icon again to access your annotation web page. Now the image loads in this this time around. Okay, so that's fine. So I'm just going to pick any of these like this and click save and export. So while that is happening, I'll go check the pop-up and see what is happening. So the first thing I notice is this large text, right? It's about 2.6 megabytes of data. We don't need that displayed. So then the next thing we have is a thumbnail generator generated from the handler, which is okay. We've not got into that part yet. So then we have this. What's the next thing that was done? We have the handler response received. Let's handler file, right? There is no okay. There's a file, yes. So there's a file here with the name, the description, the size. Hmm. So that is basically it. So the size that we have, this is it. This is a 2.6 megabyte. So this is the file itself. This is the file object. So he's sending an actual file, but we don't know if this file is correct. That's the problem because if he creates a file and the file is corrupt and it's probably not correct, how do I verify that the right just created? There's no way to know that. So, but then if you look at the response, based on the fact that we do not know that, but we know that we can fetch, we can upload to this, the we post the entire thing, the body meta gets sent 100%. Then we know this, respond or okay, we get the error text, the error, and the image get service error actually throws from there. And the next thing we have is the file name. The file name here is supposed to be from the data, which is coming from the response, right? So the response doesn't give us the file name as a response. We're supposed to be able to get it. I don't think it's typed, it's not. So, but it should be typed because when we make this fetch from the upload, it should be giving me an upload result response type actually. So we can see that every other thing works except for the file name. So it's supposed to be name, not file name. And that is basically why it was failing. So by typing it, we can get the successful type. You can ask custom metadata, like you said. You can add the message, the metadata. Yeah. So that's basically how we're going to do it. All right. So the next thing is okay. So I was just thinking a bit about what we can do here. So I really don't know where to begin this from because it looks like everything is fine. But then why is the image not getting uploaded? That is a big question. All right, so let's do this way. The other ways we can do this. Whew. This has been fun and challenging at the same time. That's cool. All right. Next thing. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? So we already have the perform upload. Well, I can't seem to trace till the error is probably because it's not in the try catch. I can't even see. But when it gets to the before fetch, it doesn't get to the response receive. I don't think it ever gets to response receive. Let me check. So that is about to change. All right, let's be sure. Let's check the pop-up. We see a lot of data. Do we see the response received? Oh yeah, we see it here. See it here. So after everything has been done, the fetch has been fetched. All right, let's see. Let's do another approach. I'm thinking of something else. So now we have this response. We have the response of okay. We have the data here, which is the response, just a response, right? So we know it gets to before fetch, which we can see from here. You can see the before fetch. So it gets there. It gets the image itself. So but at the point of sending the image, let's even see if it gets to ImageKit, right? Before doing all of this, just to be sure, be on a good page. We go to ImageKit, we should see two files, not one. File is three now, and the three fails. None of them is working. Something is too wrong. The image we are writing in is extremely wrong. You can see the different images. It's getting there, but it's not adding up as the image we need. The exact image we need is not what is being uploaded. So the question now is we need to be sure extremely that the form data contains the actual image of a file. And how do we know? Because the file was handed to perform upload. Perform upload is coming from upload image. Upload image takes it from the file, which was converted. We convert the data blob to data URL to a blob, which we did here, which is exactly what should be done. This is exactly what we should do, and this should work. I'm extremely sure. So I'm going to create a console.log here and say things like console.log. Should auto complete this for me. Come on. When I need you, you don't work. All right, this is for syncing annotation. Now, this is not what we want. We don't want that here. Where else do we have upload image? We should have it in multiple places. Yeah, this like 13. So in this case, we DexC implementation, we are passing something to it, right? Which is this is we have from the body we are getting all of this from the data URL as well, and then we get so we create a blob from this, create a file, and pass the file to upload image. We need to be sure the file we pass makes. Yeah, nice. Knew what I was trying to create. So that is file. So I got the file I was trying to pass. I want to be sure the file is valid, right? So just to be sure. Um, okay, let's do that. So I'm going to run this again. Let me just to be on the safe side. Let me check the server, close it, clear it, restart it. Building, 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 building. Stop. All right, we're done. Let's check this out. Now that we know this works, let's go back, create some new annotations. Yeah, we can do this. So we go back to Plasma, create new annotations from here. Go to the rectangle here, select just the tab pages, and so let's select just the tab pages. Save. So we okay. Let's look for that particular one. It's in save annotation and that file created. Yeah, it might not be here now because okay. So let's try this. Obviously will not be here. What am I doing? Why am I checking there? All right, you can see this file created is a file that was created here like this. The name is this, the image is this, native path, that. So yeah. So we can see the file here, and we know if truly the file is there, then we should be able to save the file.name to the upload image and also pass in the file. So we can't know if the file is valid here, which is the problem. But we know a blob was created for it. So let's say when we get to image upload, we pick that perform upload function. And what again? We have all the same form data thing. Nothing has changed. All right, so let's try this. We have the perform upload function here. Generate all params, it works. Form data, it works. The file is being passed. Yes, my issue here is still with the file. I feel like the file is not right. Maybe that works except for the file. So I'm just going to say this. I'll say, quick question though. The perform upload function takes in a file or a blob that was created when saving an annotation. How can I be sure that the file I'm passing to ImageKit is a valid file? Because when I when I export my annotations, because when I check ImageKit for my images, the images appear broken. All right, let's see if that is the images appears broken, right? Let me just paste this, ask the question. Why is this okay? So we ask all of this. The why is this appears broken? Let's go do one more check just to be sure. So going here and I click on this, it shows me the broken file like this. So why is this and how can it be resolved? I think I'm feeling too sleepy right now. My mind is not typing the wrong things. It's not typing the right things. I'm trying to type in the wrong letters I'm trying to type. Wow. It took way longer than I expected. So hopefully this guy can debug it. Once you can debug it, I'm just going to be full of, wow, this works moments. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so you found the solution, but then I'm going to, like always, show me first of all. So the broken image on this are caused by the data URL to block conversion process. Let's fill the correction method. So how do you to fix this? So just tell me before making any change. All right, so let's wait for this. Sorry guys, I've just been on this since morning. I'm a bit tired, but I intend to do the final series. That's why I've been appearing a bit lightheaded. So if you have enjoyed this so far, consider subscribing to this channel just to support what is going on here. It's quite not easy having to do this for hours, usually every day. But yeah, I want you guys to like see this and how it works, especially in the age of AI. There's a lot of miscommunication and misinformation going on about AI being just a magic wand. It doesn't work that way. Take it for someone that builds every day. So it says I'll fuse the data URL to block conversion to ensure we are sending valid image to image kit. The issue is likely with this method for conversion. This is a direct decoding method. Hmm. Show me the code. I need to see the code you want to implement because we talk about decoding. How do you intend to decode? And how do you want to fix the URL to block conversion? You didn't mention it. How do you want to define? How do you want to determine that it's actually sending valid files? You didn't mention it. Alright, so still waiting for the code. Hopefully it gets faster right now. I just want to see the code before I tell you to proceed with that. I feel like I don't trust what it's trying to do. I feel like this is just terrible. I hate it when AI writes my code for me without me telling it to write it. It's still on ask mode and it's already editing the file. I say show me, not write it. We're still far from AGI. Everybody. Still very far from AGI. Alright, let's see final fix. Things about to be done with this. We're not sure, but let's give it time. Can you imagine now you want to switch to code model after you've edited like two files? Really? After you've done the edit already, you've literally converted everything you wanted, and then you come back and say you want to edit. Can you imagine this thing? Wow. I really want to like this implementation. I truly want to. I just feel that's this is not going to work. I feel like it's not going to be perfectly okay because, of course, it's an LLM writing this. I don't expect it to be perfect. Okay, so let's try one more thing. All right, let's try it out. All right, so let's see. We saved it. Does it work? Let's see the same thing. We have the file the same as usual. Nothing changes. We have the file. We have this here. We have the file here. Before this, response received. Before fetch. Usually the same thing. Nothing has changed. In fact, the data URL to blob, I don't think it's being used anywhere. Oh yeah, it's being used here, and it's showing me the file created. If I'm not mistaken, is it? No, it's not. All right, so that means, oh yeah, it's showing the file created here and the file size, which is correct. So it just me two things: the blob size. So that means the data to blob for you to have a size is valid. Okay, so we have that also. We have our thumbnails, we have our test images. Just to be sure, let's go back to ImageKit. Oh no, still the same thing. This is it. And it fails. It fails. Oh no. How do you feel? Come on. All right, so this is a problem. This is not a fix. Um, Okay, so that's the last thing here. Right, so basically we know what we are trying to resolve this completely with. Now we know that the error is coming from one of these. We know that we can successfully do. We can use most of these solutions that was here, right? We know we have this the save annotation. We know where the error is coming from. But we can't fix the error completely. Okay, so far so good. So I'm going to complete this. I'll share the image. So if you are subscribed, you should see that automatically by the time I share the image, indicating that it works successfully. So where we upload the file, and that just does that. All right, so let's try something. Let me refresh this. You can see there are no files, right? So let's try again. So I'm going to go here, the rectangle, copy this. So with this, I click on save, I go to my extension. DOM API is now available for thumbnail generation, returning original data URL. The crazy thing is it provides me URL that I can use even though it's not working. Time to check. We should have 6 now. Can I discover where this is failing? Not found. Alright, so apparently not installing that the file. Except okay, it's uploading then that's not a problem. It's not from me. If it's uploading it, then that's not from me. So apparently we can see all of this here. We see the perform upload function, taking in everything. There's no overriding any stuff here. Just works. Okay, so the URL also has a thumbnail, which is cool. All right, so um, basically, I hope you guys have learned something from here. At least we have this successful completion of this. I need to actually do something else, so I'm able to spend much time on the call today, given the delay here. But basically, this is it. I can still I'll release another video showing this the completion of this entirely the implementation with the sync engine, the mobile, and everything was done. I'll do like a speed run of the entire thing. I'll complete it. Tell you guys how long it took to complete it and all of that. All right, so yeah, this is it. Perfect. So this basically is where I'm going to be wrapping up the series, guys. So sorry, I'm not too uh I don't have I'm not too strong enough to implement this with the same vibe as I always done. So yeah, I'm going to be stopping here today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate you guys for staying for the sixth part of the series. Today being the seventh one. I appreciate your time and the effort. And feel free to drop your comments if there anything. If you want to see this completed, just drop a comment. I'll probably do one tomorrow that covers the entire thing. Hopefully, I feel much better then. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have learned a lot. Really, really hope you learned a lot. I'll add some of the URLs for these resources on the description so we can get this resolved and use it completely. Thank you so much for watching and catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.